Today I'm going to show you how to hide your base or farm or stash on DrDonut SMP. As someone whose base has lasted for more than 9 months, I'm sure I can help you hide your base in a way that no base hunter will be able to find it. Plus, since I used to be a base hunter myself, I will share some tips that made it harder for me to find bases, which you can later use to make your base even more secure. Step 1. Build your base in the overworld. The first thing you need to do is build your base in the overworld. Why? Because for hackers, it's much harder to find a base in this dimension. The cheat called ESP is less effective here compared to the End or Nether, and additionally, it's nearly impossible to properly hide your base in those two dimensions since the world is just smaller and you can't really build an underground base there. Step 2. Build close to bedrock. Make sure to build your base as close to bedrock as possible. Bases near bedrock are much harder for anyone to find. However, avoid building near large caves or already raided bases, as these are two common places where people search for bases. If you really want extra security, you can build your base under a lava lake, which can make it harder for free cam users or X-rayers to spot it, but again, remember to avoid areas with huge caves. Step 3. Choose the best base coordinates. The rule is simple: go as far as you can, but not too close to the world border, since many players search for bases there. A distance of more than 100k blocks from spawn is just okay, but of course the further you go, the better. Just keep a distance of 6k to like 10k blocks away from any world border. Another important tip comes from my experience on the Anarchy server 6b60. Avoid building your base at like special coordinates, and by special I mean like 150k by 150k or 100k by 100k. These are the hotspots for base hunter, so instead just pick some random coordinates, but still remember about the 100k blocks rule. Also try to avoid the positive quadrant like plus coordinates, as it's surprisingly more popular for base builders. I have no idea why, but this is what I can tell after finding loads of bases there. Then negative positive, minus plus chords or positive negative quadrants are much less traveled, so I highly suggest building your base there. Step 4. Avoid these parts of the ocean and villages. Don't build your base next to the underwater caves or in the deep ocean biomes. Hackers find it way easier to locate bases in these areas. Also, avoid areas with signs of player activity like placed blocks, raided villages, or anything that could attract base hunters' attention. And one more thing, never ever build a base under a village. Whether it's raided or not, just please don't build it there. Oh, and also don't build your base inside the icebergs or whatever this structure is called. Step 5. Keep your base hidden. Once you have picked the perfect spot, dig down and then fill the entrance with the exact same blocks you mined. Don't leave any trace behind. Also, you may want to place lots of chests, ender chests or shulkers in your base, but please don't. Many hackers use ESP or storage ESP to detect these blocks. Here's a list of blocks to avoid placing in your base, like ender chests, shulkers, bookshelves, enchanting tables or other similar blocks. If you have any large farm and want to store loot, don't build your stash near the farm. Instead, keep your valuable items in your ender chest where they are always safe. But if you really want to build a stash, then as I said, build it far away from your farm, since you don't want to lose these two things at once. Step 6. Spawner tips. If you use spawners, always put them back in your ender chest or inventory when you log off. Losing spawners is often more painful than losing a base, and if you are AFK farming, hide the spawners in the walls or under the floor just to make them a bit harder to find for the hacker. Step 7. Be careful who you trust. Never teleport random players or people you don't fully trust to your base. Think twice before teleporting. Even YouTubers or streamers, they might save your base coordinates to rate it later. Though, if you do invite some streamers, ensure they use an anti-block rotation texture pack and that no bedrock is visible in your base, as some people can locate bases just by analyzing bedrock patterns. And last step, step 8, stay secure online. Finally, never click on suspicious links on Discord or anywhere else in general. Some players have lost their bases because their Minecraft accounts were hacked. So yeah, just remember about that. And that's it. I hope you learned something new and helpful. Good luck with your next base and see you next time. Ciao!